Hello and welcome to another Zach Carnage video, and this time we're going to be doing a deck profile on DDDs, or just DDs, depending on which cards you're actually looking at in the set. So obviously this was an old archetype which has been rebooted, and they've changed it from being just D&D to D/D, um, which means that you won't be able to search half of your stuff. So even though the archetypes are technically related, they're clearly not the same. So this is the different dimension demon um, deck. So we're going to go through the main deck now. I'm going to tell you why I picked up this deck. So we start off with 3 Savon Kepler. The reason why I picked up these cards is because there's a lot of searchability in the deck. Kepler searches for your contracts and can return cards you control to the hand, which is really useful. There's 2 Galilei. The deck summons really powerful pendulum monsters almost instantly, and has this really neat ability of stopping you from taking damage. Then we play 3 copies of Leonidas. Leonidas is really important. Not only does his effect stop you from taking effect damage, which most of your cards would do to you when he's in the pendulum zone, when you would take effect damage, sorry, you can get rid of this and then you gain the life points instead. Also, you can just summon him from your hand without pendulum summoning. When you take damage, you summon him, you regain the life points. Um, it's all about effect damage with this deck though. Then we play 3 copies of Ragnarok. This guy is so good. Basically, this is your special summon output machine. While he's in your pendulum zone, or when he's special summoned, you're going to be getting additional special summons the whole time, and you can go from him into him again. It's absolutely fantastic. It gives you a lot of high rank plays, and it means that you can swarm your field way faster. Then we play 3 copies of DD Swirl Slime. This card allows you to fusion summon incredibly quickly and combos really nicely with the next card, which is DD Necro Slime. With these 2 in hand, you can fusion summon twice in the first turn. You just ditch those 2 and then use them to banish them. To combo with Necro Slime, this is a personal tech choice. We have Elemental Hero Plasma. Prisma. This card's effect to send stuff to the grave can actually be really useful in that you can send Necro Slime and the Necro Slime instantly becomes live. So this acts like a foolish burial that's actually a level 4 monster, which allows you to do rank 4 plays, but also it just means that you can get your fusion summons off a little bit faster. Then I play 1 DD Baphomet. I don't think this card is as good as people were saying it originally was. A lot of people started off by saying that you could make your Xyz monsters have levels and then overlay with them, which is ridiculous because they don't have a level. So no, that's not something that you can do. Don't even try it. That's it for the monsters. And let us move on to the spells, which are really a highlight of this deck. So we start off with 3 Dark Contract of the Gate. This is your monster searcher. Once per turn you get to search. I think that's fantastic. I don't think this would ever get lower than 3 because you need it for consistency. It's really, really good. Then 2 Dark Contract with the Swamp King. This is your once a turn fusion summon. I'm only playing 2 because we have the Swell Slimes and the Necro Slimes, which make your fusion summoning happen much faster anyway. And once you've got it live, I don't think you need another one. I'll be honest, even though this is at 3 and I like the fact that I can draw into it for turn 1, if I have one already, if I search one with Kepler and then I draw into a second one, it's really irritating that I've drawn into the second one, so I didn't want to have that problem with Swamp King as well as that. Because you're avoiding so much damage, I play 3 copies of Chicken Game, which is really, really stupid in this deck. It's just a great card, and it's way better than Upstart Goblin for this particular deck. Then 1 Allure of Darkness, because there's so much in here that is dark. I believe that Prisma is the only non-dark monster in the entire deck. Then we play 1 for 1 to get out Kepler faster, which is how you're going to get your searches going. And 1 Foolish Burial to make the Necro Slime live even more. Basically, I have lots of ways to make Necro Slime live, which is why I only need to actually draw into 2 of them, because drawing into it is nowhere near as good as just hitting it in the grave. That's it for the spell lineup. Moving on to traps. I have quite a lot of the themed traps in here, partly because I'm testing them out still, but partly because I feel like they're all good in their own right at certain times. So we play one Contract Laundering. This is your destroy your own stuff and draw card. I think it's really useful for speed in the deck, getting rid of wasted spots when you draw on a second copy of whatever you got already set up on your field. I was originally running this at 3 actually, just because I wanted as much speed as possible to the deck. But I do find it's a little bit inconsistent, and therefore, like sometimes you actually do want to keep all your contracts there, so I'm just playing it at 1 now. Then we play one Dark Contract with the Witch. Very useful card. You get to destroy a lot of stuff, but honestly, you only need it at 1, because after you get your spot removal done, you're probably set up to carry on with the game. Then we play one DDD Contract Change. I'm taking this in because I know a lot of people aren't, but it can be a lot of fun when you actually resolve it properly. One DDD Human Resources. This card is so underrated, it's ridiculous. You just avoid all of the targeting effects ever. Go up against Magispectors and just rip out your stuff. It's fantastic. Then one Dark Contract with Errors, because you need to stop all of those traps. Very tempted to run this at 2, I'll be honest. Obviously a second copy goes in the side deck for any trap heavy decks. And then useful text for the deck, we play 2 Call of the Haunted, because bringing back Ragnarok is a huge plus in the deck, so I just had to put that in there. Then I play 1 Ring of Destruction, because what's damage to me? I'm going to start with a huge amount of life points. I didn't really care about doing some damage to myself. Plus I have a lot of big monsters that I can just pop and do some damage with. 1 Breakthrough Skill, because monster effect negation is still important in the game. Even though this deck clearly isn't set up for meta games, it's set up for more fun games, so 1 breakthrough tends to be all you need in that case. Then I play 1 Crush Card Virus because it is the nastiest looking and one of the most fun traps to be able to resolve, and it's just a great trap in the game. Next, I would normally be playing a Vanity's Emptiness, but currently I am trying out Eradicator Epidemic Virus. I do think Vanities is still a really key card to put into the deck. Obviously, Dragon's Bind is coming out now, so we're going to have issues with that as well. But this can be really, really useful for just destroying a ton of your opponent's stuff. If you can resolve both of these, which is possible, although it's unlikely that you'll draw into both of them, you just end up way further ahead than your opponent. So that's it for the main deck. So let us move now onto the extra deck. So obviously you get quite a lot of fusion cards with the in the archetype. We're going to be seeing a lot of the better fusions and the synchros coming out in the near future, but unfortunately not close enough that it was worthy of actually just putting in this video. So we're going to get into these cards now. So we start off with the coolest boss monster, which is of course DDD Wave King Oblivion King. Sorry, DDD Wave Oblivion King Caesar Ragnarok. Let's go in a little bit here. So this card steals your opponent's monsters and gives you an attack boost for it, and he's already on 32. It seems really ridiculous that you can do that. He's made with 2 DDD monsters, which means that all you have to do is pendulum summon 2 of your big guys, and then you can just fusion summon with this. Really ridiculous, plus you can do it with Prisma, so it makes it even easier. Sometimes it's kind of hard to get both of your DDDs on the field, but with Prisma it's super easy to get this guy out. Then we play 3 copies of DDD Oracle King Dark, who is clearly the queen. She is absolutely fantastic. She's probably your go-to card just because she only requires 2 DD monsters. We're not yet at the stage at which you can combo super hard with the deck, but you summon this, you end up with 3 contracts, and then next turn suddenly you're on 11,000 life points, and it's really hard for your opponent to catch up with you at that point. Provided this card sticks around, so you might need to protect it a little bit. That's why we have a little bit of protection in the trap lineup. But this card is just a wonderful instant 2800 beat stick. Then moving on to the Xyz lineup. So we start off with the rank 4 for the archetype, which is DDD Wave King Caesar. This card is great. He restores your entire field if you do something stupid or if you take a lot of damage, so he's just really useful. He's when you don't know what rank 4 to make, but you can make one, he's generally your go-to for that. Then one Castell for problems, Dark Rebellion Xyz Dragon because there's a lot of stuff on high attack at the moment that you just need to get over. And if you can establish your own really powerful monster, then it's kind of hard for your opponent to get past it as well. Heartland Draco because this is the Pendulum deck, so you set this up and then you can just attack directly for ages, and it's a fantastic card. In the hype that will be Cyber Dragon Infinity, we have Atellanite Ptolemaeus, and then at the moment we have Constellar Diamond and Constellar Pleiades, but obviously these will become Cyber Nova and Cyber Infinity once they come out, provided I can actually get my hands on them. Then the deck has a lot of level 7 and 8 monsters that are available, including the ones in the extra deck. So for the rank 7s, we play one Big Eye, which is my personal favorite. I think it's one of the most important cards in the game as far as your extra deck can go. And then we play one Mecha Phantom Beast Dracosac. It's still a fantastic card. Obviously, you might prefer to play the Red Eyes Metal Flare over this. Unfortunately, you can't play Odd Eyes Rebellion in the deck because it's not dragon focused. But these are my favourite two generic rank 7s. Then for generic rank 8 we play one Felgrand because Felgrand is still a wonderful card. Effect negation whenever you want is great, and plus you can just make him immune and just do the damage. It's still a wonderful card. And the last card in the deck is of course the biggest and most badass. It is DDD Duo Dawn King Kali Yuga. So this is potentially the biggest boss monster in the deck. He can negate face-up cards, he can reset your traps, and he's on 3500 base attack, which can attack over any Cosmo cards, which is amazing. So you make this guy with two of your level 8 DD monsters, so generally your DDDs. The only issue is then, of course, they're in the grave. But that doesn't become too much of a problem thanks to things like Call of the Haunted and Ragnarok special ability. So as always, thanks for watching this video. If you have any comments or suggestions that you would like to make, leave them in the comment section down below. Keep in mind that this is a pre-boss list. Potentially I could put in some Ariadnes in here and then change up the trap lineup a bit so that I can actually get some counter traps in. But this is always designed to be a fun, semi-budget deck. So until we actually get the competitive cards for the list, it's going to be in the budget range. Thanks for watching, and don't forget to subscribe. I'll see you guys in the next one.